Good evening, everyone. For the second time today, um, I'm still Gregor. This is still the stream, and we still um, need to finish Chrono Trigger. So that's kind of like what we're going to be doing. Yeah. So I kind of started the lost something optional dungeon. Promptly got annoyed by it and kind of like gave up. Oh, I mean, fair enough. Probably lost 2 levels. Oh, yes. I'm still Gregor. As I was this morning. The future refused. Is it like the Earth refused to change, or like the... I don't remember what the exact quote of that is. Anyway. So we need to find another copy of the Prism Stone now. In an honestly very like pointless and very annoying and very obnoxious series of side quests that were added in the DS version. In case some of you weren't around when I was doing those, I think JLC was. I bet he heard like I had many choice words about how shitty this place is. But yeah, we kind of need to go do stuff because stuff lost sanctum. Okay, that's like what it's called. And the genius of this place, in like a very charitable kind of way, is that you can't progress by doing just one of the 2 versions. You need to kind of like... Oh, future refused to change. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I always get that confused, like with, I don't know, it's like a lot of things that refuse to change generally, so... but yeah. I don't even know why I'm doing this. It's not required for any of the endings. I just thought I should. Entrance is forbidden without the blessed rept mark. At least like find a decent name for this. Would you be kind enough to fetch it from the northern wood first? Unfortunately, yes, we would be kind enough. Unfortunately. Wait, what did he say? If you retrieve the crest, I will allow you inside. I will allow you inside? I will allow you inside. Feels like there's like a couple of words missing there, right? Like to come inside or to enter. I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe I should give up on doing this part and just like go through to like the good stuff or like the marginally better stuff. Like fighting Lavos. Like this place is so... I don't know. I guess obnoxious is the right word for it. Also, yeah, these guys can only die with magic attacks. Well done, me. Off to a flying start. Yeah, and like this, like not the design standards that the rest of the game kind of like gets you used to. And again, it's very clear that it's only here because, you know, it gives kind of an excuse to people to play this game a couple more hours without using that much in the way of assets or effort. Yep. And that's not the biggest issue, that it's a rather sizable area. The issue I have with it is that it actually forces you to backtrack through the whole thing a number of times. It also requires you to go to 2 different versions of the dungeon in order to get the quests rolling. And if that weren't enough, it also... Rep mark, okay. It also has respawning enemies on the areas that it knows you're gonna go through a number of times. Like, I don't know, it... I don't have anything kind to say about this place, but I'm kind of doing it because maybe one of the armor rewards is kind of decent, and like the hunt for the arm weapon for Robo is nice to have if you kind of take the time to build him to utilize it properly. But just like getting the dragon's tear and feeding him like a bunch of speed capsules as well, and so on and so forth. Blah blah blah. Yes, this is it. Very well then. Into the sanctuary. Pointless. And now we have to walk all the way out again and go up the beam of light again and enter the epoch again and travel to another time period again. Before getting one more step in this multi-step chain of quests done. Again. See, that's a problem. It's if it were just like self-contained in just like one time period, if it was just like one dungeon, but I don't know. I can think of at least 5 ways they can do this better. It's just like, don't have the second time period, don't have you backtrack, don't have respawning enemies, don't have this many side quests. Most of them are kind of inconsequential. Or if you want something a bit more advanced than just like, you know, removing stuff, have one dungeon and have a mechanic that like pulls it back and forth in time. Just like have a stone here, have like something called the time stone that's here, and when you use it you get teleported to the other time dimension without having to do the whole light beam up and light beam down and epoch in and epoch out thing all the time. So this was like 5 easy ways to fix the Lost Sanctum. Welcome to my TED Talk. I'm actually kind of stealing this joke from this morning that JLC did this. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's not just the epoch, right? It's like all like the dialogue options for like using the beam of light to get out and then get back in. What is the point of that? Why do I need to confirm that I want to leave it if it's in a separate screen? There's literally no way I could walk into the beam of light by accident and exit. Among other things. So who asked about the Saint Stones? Is this guy? No, this guy, I think. It couldn't be! This is the gem I spoke of? My, it certainly is gorgeous. But wherever did you find another Prisma Stone? There shouldn't have been more than one in the world. You travel through time? I'm afraid I don't understand what you mean. But still, I appreciate you coming to show it to me. Let me give you a little something as a way of saying thanks. Yay. I got Robo's second best weapon in the game. Woohoo. So let's see which guy was... Oh, no, hold on. Now I need to go to the present one again, right? Now I need to go to the present and talk to the guy that wants to build the bridge. And then do a bunch of other pointless stuff for him. Including that very, very annoying mountain bit where you fight the new master. I don't know. Just takes so much time. That's the problem. It's such a pointless thing, and you're not even seeing new content. You're just like rewatching the same old content. I need sturdy lumber. I need strong metal. I need a durable hammer. So I already have the stone. Sorry, I have the metal ingot, like the steel ingot or something. Yeah, and I can get the hammer from like past thingamajig, but I don't remember where you get the lumber from. I want to say it's somewhere in like the forest. Dragon is a stock. Yeah, but I mean, technically, okay, fair enough. I see what you're saying, but I kind of feel it's better to have the crit one. Is my point here. Also, I need to remember where the hell you get the lumber from. Now, I usually never do this, but I'm gonna like open a guide here. I mean, honestly, the crisis arm is very finicky. Because yes, it depends on what like Robo's last digit in like his hit points reads, I guess. Oh god. Wait, prehistory? Really? Oh no. So I do get the lumber here, but not in this time period. Huh. Oh boy. This is where the time to... Yeah, I know. I think I did all of them actually. The like the hidden chests. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should have done this off stream. Rather than take my downtime and play Star Ocean with. Oh yeah, by the way, something like I think I told Rooks already, but I did manage to finish Star Ocean R. Sorry, first encounter R. On the Switch today. Try my friend at the Millennial Wood. He might be able to help. The golden hammer, and like Lost Sanctum notwithstanding, that game is the exact antithesis of Chrono Trigger, Star Ocean First Encounter. There you go. This is like the guy that gives me Godwood. Thanks. But yeah, Star Ocean First Encounter and, well, rather Star Ocean 1 and the remake First Encounter and the remaster of that First Encounter are like the exact opposites of what this game is supposed to be, because this game is, for the most part, this dungeon and like the time vortex places later on notwithstanding, such a different game. So it's like much more like packed, much more concise. Not a lot of fat, not a lot of grinding, not a lot of annoyances all over. Star Ocean, for the most part, I bought in August, I think. I'm not like 100% sure. But like the I'm pretty sure I had it for like at least like 4 or 5 months at the very least. I know I got it on release, so maybe just like check on that. Switch. So, it was actually available on December 5, 2019. Then I assume I probably got it a bit earlier than that. But yeah, anyway, I got that game, let's say in February, right? Or March of 2020. And it took me 7 months to finish, more or less. And why that happened, it's because that game is such a slog. So slow, so annoying. It's... I don't know, it's got like a lot of things that I like. The crafting system is very clever. Perhaps maybe too clever for its own good, if that makes any sense. It's very nuanced, it's very in-depth. It's got a lot of hidden rules, unfortunately, that you kind of need to decipher, which is fine. Star Ocean. Let's see. But yeah, it's got like a very, very interesting crafting slash skill slash ability system, which honestly is a bit too complicated for me to kind of like go into depth. Oh, come on, really? It's kind of a bit like too in depth for me to kind of explain on the fly here. So let's just say that the basis of it is that every character has certain aptitudes, and the more you use specific crafting skills, the more like the higher chance you get like characters learn aptitudes relating to those skills. So for example, if you use crafting, which is the kind of like blacksmithing-ish skill in the game. Oh yeah, this guy. You remember, I lose, then I train. Now I no lose no more. Next time I beat you, I wait on top of mountain. Lots of monsters on mountain. You come up. But yeah, for example, if you use something like blacksmithing and you keep using it enough, the character will kind of like acquire an aptitude for it, which means they get better results for using that skill. And you know, innately certain characters are like better equipped for specific abilities. It has a lot of abilities actually. It has like crafting, it has something that makes like artwork, it has another one that you can teach characters. You can write a book about a skill a character knows and give that to another character to learn. And that always kind of like amuses me, because we're like in the middle of an adventure and someone sits down to write a book about how well they can like play the piano. quite literally. But yeah, very interesting, like, crafting related systems. So I don't seem to have a vigilance HUD on Luca. How the hell did that happen? But that's probably like the nicest thing I can say for Star Ocean at the moment. Yeah, you only got 3 of them. I know, I forgot to kind of like move them around, I guess. But yeah, that's like the nicest thing I can say about Star Ocean, because everything else, I don't know. It's definitely a product of its time, so I can't be too harsh on it. Because, you know, that's how they design games in 1995 and so on and so forth. But honestly, a lot of the stuff kind of started a bit annoying, and if you leave something annoying grating against your nerves over and over, it becomes a big annoyance very, very soon. You'll need sturdy vines to make a sturdy ladder. You ought to be able to find some growing in a thicket down in the southern glade. Yes, the place we just came from. Sorry, kind of like... But yeah, the game has not aged well. It is most definitely a product of its time, as far as general like RPG mechanics and systems are concerned. Unlike Chrono Trigger, this is like the bit where I kind of make comparisons to Chrono Trigger to show how 2 30-ish hour-long JRPGs can be so wildly different. Because it's kind of interesting, actually. They both came out at around like the same time, I want to say. Like even like Star Ocean, I think, came like slightly after Chrono Trigger. Just actually check that. If my memory serves, Chrono Trigger came out in 95 and Star Ocean 1 came out in like 97? No. So, Chrono Trigger, according to Wikipedia, came out in March 11, 1995. And Star Ocean came out in July 19th, 1996. More than a year later. And what's this? Okay, there's like a Humble Bundle, blah blah blah. I got an affiliate link if you want to go get stuff, use it, whatever. I just got an email about that. But yeah, they came out like around at the same time, like maybe a year apart, which is not like that much time design-wise. And they're both kind of smaller scale JRPGs. Insofar as like a 25 to 30 hour game is small. But they do things so differently from one another. Chrono Trigger is like this tightly designed, linear-ish, very like focused experience with nearly no grind required, not a lot of side quests, not much in the way of, you know, anything but the main story, not a lot of backtracking either. At least in like the micro level, because in the macro level you get through several time periods more than once. But that's not really like backtracking in that sense. On the other hand, Star Ocean, here's like the things that it does differently, and it's kind of amusing to consider, having played both these games at kind of like the same time this year. How much of like a contrast they have to one another. So, in Star Ocean, you have no grind required. No. Yeah, no, it's just like you don't have to participate in fights. So that kind of no grind required. So hi Millimage, how's it going? Hope you slept well. But yeah, in Star Ocean you are expected to grind a whole bunch if you're planning on surviving certain areas in the game, which shouldn't be a problem because you have to backtrack through all 8 of the game's cities, I guess. It's like 8 of them. I don't remember. It's like Ekdart Trop, Sirvalan, like the Vanille kind of like place. I don't remember what it's called exactly. Van-E something. It's like the Demon Ruins? Yeah, the Demon Ruins, Demon Laboratory, whatever it is. It's like literally around like 20 locations in the game, and it forces you to go back through them at like the midway point of the game. It like a game with a huge, like not huge, but like kind of like a sparsely populated big overworld map asks you to go all the way back to the initial continent without fast travel, on foot, to get the main quest going. This is not for a side quest. This is not for like some optional bit of gear or like an optional dungeon or anything, although those are also kind of there. No, this is... never mind. Like up here? Where's the like the vine that I need? Sturdy vines. Where the hell are those? Yeah, seriously, they're supposed to be in the southern glades, which is like this area. No, I'm not seeing any vines. But yeah, in the midpoint of Star Ocean 1, at around the 15-hour mark, you need to trek across the way you just have been coming for the last 15 hours, I guess, in order to get 4 crests from 4 different kingdoms. The 4 different kingdoms you just spent the entire game up until that point getting away from. On foot. With no fast travel. It's like, oh, there we go. It's like a very, 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 very annoying thing. It felt like a 3-hour-long, more or less, waste of time. And it was. And it's not helped by the fact that the encounter rate in that game, because it does like the Final Fantasy thing where, you know, you kind of like walk around the overworld and suddenly there's like a event, like a swirl, and you're taken to like the combat field, like a random encounter kind of thing. And those are so many in the game. They are so many. Literally, on average, every 5 steps your character takes, you are thrown into the fight. And you might be saying, well, that's kind of a thing. Isn't there something like a repel or something you can be using? Yes, there is. It's called the, what was it called? Scouting ability? It was like scouting or something like that. Anyway, there's like an ability that allows you to regulate how many encounters you get on the world map. Except that it's bugged. On an SNES game that got remade to the PSP that then came to Switch and PS4, an ability is somehow still bugged so you can't avoid combat. Star Ocean remains slow feeling. Yes, Wait, I have the sturdy vines. What the... What do I do now? Like, I literally have like a guide on like the other screen because I have no idea what to do here. Oh wow. I actually need to go back to prehistory. So yeah, I am aware that like later games are just as shit on those regards, with like the grinding and the backtracking and the time wasting. And if I guess if you're not aware, that was also the reason Tuma kind of gifted me one of them on Steam. So now I'm kind of like obligated on like playing and streaming that one at some point, which is The Last Hope, the one that Chelsea is talking about. Yes. So at some point I'm going to have to stream that, and you're gonna have to hear me complain about it for like 60 odd hours. Apparently you also need a spreadsheet to get like every item in that game because of whatever weirdness. I don't know. I just don't enjoy pointless time wastes in games. You can save GG by gifting him other games. Well, no, I get, don't get any ideas because clearly people hate me or just like enjoy hearing me complain all the time. If my Witcher 1 streams were anything to go by, I actually had like who was it, like Mana said she kind of like enjoyed listening to me kind of like complaining endlessly about like all the shit in Witcher 1, and even like going so far as to exclaim that she didn't like expect me to be able to sit through the entire game, which I mean, fair enough. I also didn't expect to do that, but there are some good ideas in that game. As are in Star Ocean, unfortunately, which is why I kind of liked it. The whole time travel thing. Also, yeah, it's another like nice contrasting point to Chrono Trigger. Star Ocean is kind of also about time travel in a way, in like a totally different way, but also time travel happens there, and also space travel, which I guess doesn't happen in Chrono Trigger. So I guess Star Ocean like first departure wins there. It's like I don't remember it being a competition, but sure, challenge accepted. I mean, again, I did like the game. I did like The Witcher. All the shitty stuff that's in it didn't detract from like the overall experience. I kind of wish they weren't there, but even with them, like I enjoyed the game despite all the stupidity that was in it. It wasn't like a challenge or anything. Although I do get to like enjoy getting achievements, so I guess you've got a point there somehow. But it's not like a challenge from anyone in specific. That's what I'm trying to say. I definitely didn't challenge myself to finish it either. But yeah, again, I did really like some ideas in Star Ocean. There are some very clever bits, like the whole thing with specialties and super specialties. So basically, every character that you have can be taught specific skills, some of which kind of boost you in combat, like Godspeed, which allows you, like, has a chance of allowing you to teleport directly to your target, because this is kind of like a Tales game where the combat is real-time, kind of more action, hack and slash-ish, if that makes any sense. So aren't we supposed to be able to tie the vines here somewhere? Jesus Christ, even with like a guide, I'm so utterly lost in this. So the guide says I need to go to Prehistory and make the ladder there. Damned if I know what that means. I'm not too proud to take assistance here. If anyone remembers this bit, if anyone's played this bit and they know... Bixby kind of like woke up, well done. If anyone remembers and knows what I'm supposed to be doing here, please don't think I'm too proud to ask for help, because I'm not. Also, I don't think it's possible to hate fetch quests more than this, so... You know what? I'm gonna find like a different guide. So yeah. Go back to the broken ladder to trigger required dialogue, then go back to prehistory. Can I just like shoot like whoever thought of like this was a good idea? Seriously, they need a good spanking at the very least. But yeah, back to Star Ocean, since because we're not doing anything interesting in Chrono Trigger, I might as well talk about another game. Also, yeah, by the way, sorry, Millie Mage, my day went pretty well, all things considered, so thank you for that. And sorry for missing out the dialogue at that time. I've actually been meaning to finish what I'm trying to say about Star Ocean, and failing miserably, by the way. But yeah, it's also kind of interesting that how the skill system works. So you basically have around 40 different abilities that you can teach to your characters. Some of which kind of affect how they perform in combat, like Godspeed, which allows you to teleport to specific targets, like your target enemy, like instantly. It's kind of like a chance to happen. Or Trance, which allows you to have less delay when casting spells. So obviously some of these are meant for melee characters, some of these are meant for ranged characters, and so on and so forth. Other abilities unlock passive stat boosts, which is also kind of nice. And other abilities still unlock crafting options, or rather like... I think the game calls them specialties. So kind of stuff like appraising, which allows you to identify items that are like unidentified. Or like, what was the other one? Scouting, which in theory, if it wasn't bugged, allows you to control how often you get random encounters, and so on and so forth. And they build upon that further still by allowing you to have super specialties, which are like combinations of specific specialties that kind of give you an effect that is like larger than the sum of its parts. So you can have the perform specialty, which allows you to play specific songs that kind of affect the game in different ways. Like, for example, there's something called like the Area of the Devil, which lets you summon secret optional bosses. There's like Lonely Heartbeat or something like that, which allows you to move faster. There's like a song that allows you to restore HP while like exploring the overworld map, which is kind of useful actually. And anyway, there's like a bunch of those, and that's like just one of the specialties. There's also cooking, there's smithing, or whatever it's called, like appraising, and so on and so forth. So yeah, now apparently I need to watch this and then go back to prehistory. Like, seriously? And then there's like super specialties, right? Which is the combination of those. And there's like one that's called Grand Orchestra or something like that, which allows you to take a song and amplify its effects. Or rather, well, what it actually does is it raises the success chance of all of your regular specialties, perform included. So you can kind of like use the orchestra ability if you have like perform on multiple characters to boost everything else that you can do with the skills or like the specialties. Does come together. Yes, it can be. It has like so much potential. Like Star Ocean 1 specifically. I haven't played the others in the series, but Star Ocean 1 has like so much potential, and it chooses to throw that out the window and just be the most stupidly generic RPG in terms of combat and like not combat, but rather like exploration and systems. By taking a game that by all like in all intents and purposes should have been maybe 20 hours long if you took your time, and stretch another 10 hours out of that by making you backtrack all over the map for something that ultimately is meaningless. Because so the game kind of forces you to go through something called like a Precursor Cave or something like that, and the first time you go, you're only allowed to access the first half of it, which you don't know at the time because the first half is also kind of sizable. But after that, you basically visit a whole different continent, which takes around 5 hours or so. And you are then told you need to go back all the way across all 3 continents, visiting all 4 major capital cities, doing side quests for like not side quests, but like mini quests for the ruler of each country, more or less, or like each capital city. And then go back to the 4th and final city to present the emblems, only to be told that you need to go back to the Precursor Cave, which, by the way, is on the 2nd of the 3 continents, so it's like another hour's worth of like random encounters and stuff. Do I sound like sufficiently annoyed yet, or I don't know? Is it like coming across how much I hate that kind of like game design? Or do I need to like start like acting up as well? But yeah, it's like it literally stretches 5 to 10 hours of game time out of backtracking. Out of freaking backtracking, and it doesn't even do the decent thing of scaling up the enemies with you so you at least have something interesting to fight. You literally have to go back to like the level 1 areas, right? You literally have to go back to the level 1 areas, or like level 1 to 10 areas, I guess, where you fight all the shitty enemies that take a lot of time to fight because of like the combat transitions, and you know, having to move in real time because it's kind of a Tales game, so you need to physically move your characters to the enemies before you can attack them. And these enemies no longer give you any XP worth, or like any resources even worth a damn. And then you have to go all the way back and then back again. Because apparently, if the game was like 15 to 20 hours, it would have brought shame upon like the houses of these developers or whatever. I don't know. I literally never have a good enough excuse in my mind about why backtracking should be anywhere near in any kind of game. Except maybe Skyrim, but yet again, like those kind of games usually have fast travel specifically to avoid this situation. And rant is over, just in time for us to hang a vine. Yep. Now we just need to come back in the other era. So yeah, my experience with Star Ocean is kind of what this is at the moment. Pointless backtracking. Also, I'm sorry I'm not participating in this, because while I have played a bit of Lufia 1, but not anywhere like far in the game, to be honest. And to be even more honest, I don't think I would ever like bother finishing that game. It seems very boring to me, honestly. I also did play Lufia 2. It was like Rise of the Sinistrals or something like that, but again, it's kind of boring for me. Didn't see many games. Yes, exactly that. Also, Melee Mage. When did you go back through Dragon's Dogma? I haven't like. Is like this on the Switch? Because I'm pretty sure I would have noticed people playing that on Steam. Not that I kind of like Watch people play stuff. No, that's what you lot do. You're watching me play stuff. But no, I'm just kidding. Was that like the Switch version? Because I'm actually curious as to how that version performs. Did that when you're sleeping? Oh, on stream as well. Nice. Wouldn't really recommend Lufia one. Oh, it's a Steam version. Oh, did you by any chance run across my pawn? Because I told Mana that it's like pretty decent, and it was, except that for some reason I was playing around with the classes and forgot to re-equip it with like the mage gear that it had when I tried making him a ranger for like a short while. But yeah, I did play both like 1 and 2 a little bit, but I've never kind of like gotten too much into them. Maybe if like everyone's interested, would you like me to try like a retro themed month or something where I go back and play all the SNES RPGs or something? Because yeah, I kind of set up my pawn to be like this super useful kind of like mage pawn, I guess. Sorry, I'm just like jumping between two conversations, so let me just like get like one conversation out of the way. So I don't know if anyone is interested. I could totally try doing like a retro games month or something like that. Just like try a few JRPGs on like the SNES or like even the Genesis. Like I've never really done Shining Force all the way to the end. Although that's kind of like a strategy-ish JRPG. I've never actually finished Phantasy Star on the Genesis either. Although I have tried it. I mean, Lufia would be a strong contender. Terranigma is definitely going to be one if I end up doing that. I guess maybe Actraiser as well. And yes, Pawn is like Melee Mage and Dragon's Dogma. Like I said, two discussions at the same time. I'm pretty sure I'm confusing the hell out of everyone. Terranigma so good. Yes, Terranigma is amazing. It's also probably tied for second place as like best soundtrack ever for me. Especially like the theme that always stuck to mind is the zoo theme, which let's see, we can. Oh, why is my controller pause? No? Huh. Okay. Why can I not pause the game? That's so weird. Man, there's like music playing. I can't actually just like put on the zoo theme here. Can I pause in combat though? Yeah, but the music doesn't go away. Let me just like mute the game for a moment. Let's see. Just really like the specific song, like the zoo theme. Like depending on the translation, it's like either ZOO or ZUE. Let's see. Mute Chrono Trigger. No one can hear Chrono Trigger now, right? Hopefully. So let's instead open a new tab on YouTube. Hide this. Wait, hide the bar? How do you hide the bookmark bar? What the? Hey, Menino Mundi, welcome. How's it going? How are we doing today? And Terranigma Zoo. And let's listen to this. It's like such a nice theme. I love this theme. So yeah, this is like literally the song that plays when you're trying to revive all of the animal life in, well, Terra, I guess. I'm okay, thank you for that. Let's see. Let's go back to the regular games music. Love to see me try the Trails of Cold Steel series. I mean, I do own like the first 2 of those, I want to say, on Steam. Out of like a total of, I guess, 5 at this point. I'm not actually sure. Like that series is super confusing to me with like how it's titled, because I can never tell which game comes first, like in which order they're supposed to be played. But I think I do own the first 2 of them. And correct me if I'm wrong, those are kind of supposed to have started as like Vita games. And like they were eventually continued on to like PC and PS4, I guess. Also, hey, I'm very well as well. Thank you for asking. How was your Thursday, I guess? It's like Thursday today, right? Rainbow Helm. Aha. Halves light damage. Or do I actually own... How many of them do I own? Let me just like check. Trails of... Legend of Heroes. Trails... Oh, Trails in the Sky. Oh, that's not the same one. Huh. I own Trails in the Sky and Trails in the Sky SC. These aren't the same, are they? Trails of Cold Steel is like a... Oh, the same continent, but they're like sub-series. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, I don't own the Cold Steel ones. I just own the 2 first ones in Trails in the Sky. So yeah, I did get Magus. It was maybe like 2 streams ago, actually. And yeah, Trails in Azure is still not on Steam, is it? So, I mean, I could maybe get it on PS4 and play them there. Oh, 3,000 damage. Wait, what gun do I have equipped on Luca? I don't remember. And I also don't have MP for Chrono. Well done. Wonder shot. Oh, it's like the crit one, right? So, Trails in Azure. Have I seen this on... Oh, like a really wide damage range? Okay, fair enough. So, Trails in Azure. Oh, Trails to Azure. Okay. Oh, no, Kiseki. It's like a PSP game. No, it's not like a PS Vita. My bad. Okay, has not officially been localized in English. So yeah, it's like literally no legit way for me to buy this at the moment. Trails in the Sky, Trails in the Sky SC, Trails in the Sky 3rd. Okay, I guess those are like the first trilogy, I guess. Also the Zero thing Also says that it doesn't have a... It only has like a fun translation. Azure is the crossbell game. Yes, it says Trails from Zero is the first part of the crossbell arc, and Trails to Azure is the second and final part of the crossbell arc. Like going from like the Wikipedia page for those. I don't think I own Trails of Cold Steel, to be honest. Okay. That's fair enough, I guess. I might try Trails in the Sky if... come on. Mermaid Helm. If I can like run out of games to play. So you finally got here. I trained lots and lots. Let me save! Fuck off! Freaking let me save, you jerk! I hate that I have to do this for my first turn, but, you know. Screw it. Can we start by Dragon Slayer? I mean, I have no idea where that game even, like, came out on. So... Oh, no, it does that new thing where it, like, leaves you with 1 health. Ah! So stupid. No! And also counterattacks. Yay. And also has like an instant kill attack. What? Really? 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 Fuck me, I hate this game so much right now. Life Shaver reduces HP to 1. And also has like an instant kill attack. Oh, it can actually miss though. Okay, I mean that's slightly better. Excuse me? I hate this boss so much. And now Chrono is dead probably because he's gonna do like the counter attack thingy. Don't. On the bright side, only healed for 1. Yes, I guess there is like a bright side to this. You know what? Screw it. I'm just like gonna use a Mega Elixir here. I don't care. I just like need this fight to be over. What's the next step of the game? I guess like go do like the what's it called? Go do Black Omen, or just like go do Lavos, I guess. I'm like literally done with every other thing, which is why I'm doing this piece of shit dungeon. Already going to be Lavos? Yes, yes, yes. It's just like exactly what I have left is like Lost Sanctum, which is this thing, and then Lavos, and that's about it, really. The end. I just thought it might be a good idea to do this first, because you know I've only ever done it once on the DS version, and I'm starting to remember why. Oh, finally. I'm not like I don't even get TP for that? What the hell? Oh my god, friends. Yes, friends is power. Friendship is magic. Yes, well done. Yes. God. I hate this game so much. Just like literally gone through the ringer just to be told that this guy needs friends. You know, maybe I can like push him off of the cliff. Maybe he'll find friends at the bottom. Oh, so annoying. Oh, I guess this is where we need to leave the Prisma Stone or something. Magic is heresy? Yeah. The full damage won't kill him though. Yeah. I mean, I guess. Oh, I hate this dungeon so much. It's like, this is like coming from someone like only a few hours ago finished Star Ocean and said how much they hated that. I just didn't think I would be capable of feeling this hate so soon after that. Thank you, Chrono Trigger. Thank you, Chrono Trigger DS development team. Wow. And as far as I can see from the guide, I have like maybe 4 more steps to go. All of them requiring you to go between time periods again. Every single time. Maybe I should change the title of the stream into like watch a grown man cry on stream. I mean, that would get like the views in, right? Chrono Trigger. I mean, it's not Chrono Trigger specifically. It's just like this shitty, like tacked-on dungeon. It's like really like the Dark Souls thing. It's not hard. It's just annoying. God damn it. Yeah, I forgot you are immune to that. I could be streaming Spelunky today, you know? Like something I'm like legitimately, what's it called? Excited to play. Like the sequel to a game that I love that everyone seems to say is like a very good game. Yeah, exactly. That's like my biggest annoyance is that like this is not representative of the game's actual dungeon design. This is like a shitty expansion expansion pack. But yeah, I remember when you said I should do just that, but you know, I don't like leaving stuff like half finished, if that wasn't already obvious. And besides, I already spent like 6 or so streams on this game, so I should maybe finish it before moving on to other things. Yeah, you know what the problem is? I shouldn't have started this specific dungeon, no matter how good the rewards are. I maybe should have done that off stream, while I could like take 20-minute breaks to go into the closet behind me and cry for like an hour. You know, the simple things in life. Like, I swear, there's like in an alternate universe, there's like paramedics bursting into my house and finding me in a corner, like under the shower, going like back and forth, rocking and saying, "Not the Lost Sanctum, not the Lost Sanctum, not the Lost Sanctum." I mean, I really just want to finish this one time. Just like, I just want, you know, even I don't even like want to finish that. Maybe just get like what's his name, like Robos, like Giga, no, hold on, what's like Apocalypse Arm, I think it's called, that neighbor of mine, blah 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 blah. So the guide now reads, go to the world map and return. Like, getting the epilogue ending. Yeah, I know exactly. I did get the crit accessory. You get it. Whoa! What? Haribogami, thank you for the sub. Twitch Prime sub. And I guess welcome to whatever we're calling the like subscriber group, I guess. I don't know. I've never had like that many. Maybe I just like call them like the gray people. The grays. I don't know. But thank you for that. And welcome to the stream as well. That's like literally not a name I recognize, but thank you very much. Enjoy the heart emote. The Grey Goo? No, that's like a terrible game. I mean, that's like a terrible name. Oh, thank you. Yes, I do love this game, which is why I'm so hard on this specific part of it. Also, welcome again. Let's see, Stir Divines to make a sturdy ladder. Yes, I've done that. Why won't it let me progress? Am I doing something wrong here? So I spoke to the builder. I did the quest with the new. Neighbor will tell you the builder never came back. Go up Mount Emerald and speak. Really? Oh, the Grey Gang. That reminds me of that like rap. What's its name? Like a rap group, the Greyhound Gang or something like that. No, that's like a different thing altogether. I'm glad to find fellow lovers of the game though. Like for all the complaining that I'm doing at the moment, this is like definitely one of my favorite JRPGs. Especially all of the parts that are not this dungeon. But yeah, again, thank you. Hope you enjoy watching me try to bash my head against this quest. You know what else they could have done to maybe alleviate the backtracking a whole bunch? It's like maybe have like a teleport system so you can come to specific like areas in this dungeon without having to go through the entire thing. Like, how much like better would it have been if there was a teleporter that took you straight to the new at the top? And you wouldn't have to fight all of these things for the 10th time already. The Grey Gang, I don't know. It's like the people who designed this wanted to make it as painful as possible. I mean, it does rather feel like that, doesn't it? And it's not as if it's challenging or anything. Like, the new fight was kind of iffy there. Although I think I would have had a much easier time if I had remembered to, you know, rest and replenish all of my MP before going to the top. Or if I had any indication that I was about to just be like thrown into a very difficult boss fight. Have them play these dungeons. Bring Nadia to for her life too. Yeah, I mean that as well, but she's not like that fast, and I don't think I would have like had enough time to, you know, do that without items. Like, thankfully, after like the first like lapis, we kind of like stabilized. Yes, that's the correct word. So it wasn't like that bad. If anything, I think like Frog might have been the better choice because he could AoE heal. Like have Frog and Robo together. Although then I would probably only have to rely on Chrono for Luminaire, because it seemed like the new wasn't taking that much damage from melee attacks or like physical attacks. I think the new master was the most annoying. So what do I do now? I already sent the guy to build the thing. You know what? Let's try doing like this. It was like save half a trip down the... There we go. So where's the this guy's supposed to tell you about his neighbors, right? Like the guy that went off to build the bridge. Yes, exactly. That's see. There's like so many like good solutions to like kind of like minimizing the back and forth in this dungeon. Why did they take none of them? My head hurts. But yeah, after this, again, like, made this to be painful. Again, I think I might just like not do Chrono Cross right after this. I would much rather just like get like a week of spelunking, because I mean that kind of like came out like a week ago on PC. I think it's been out on like PS4 for like at least a couple of weeks prior to that. But it only came out, I think, on Friday on PC, so I do want to kind of sink my teeth into that, if only to kind of, you know, get in on like the hype while the game is still kind of like current, I guess. But yeah, we will be doing Chrono Cross after this at some point in October, and I just realized that it's October and I haven't really planned anything for like Halloween or anything. I'm not really gonna do the whole horror bit this year, if only because I don't think I have many more horror games that I haven't played yet. Which is also kind of a problem. Is there something I haven't done that will like make the bridge builder quest move forward? Or will I go back to the Middle Ages one now, or like the prehistory one now, and like magically be able to progress through the story? Or no, hold on, the Middle Ages one. Sorry. Expect me to be a bit more apprehensive of Chrono Cross, which is a game I also love, but which does not live up to the legacy of Chrono Trigger. And actually, I want to say that it doesn't really even try to live up to the legacy of Chrono Trigger. They were very... I don't know. They were like very vocal that the game doesn't have much to do. Oh, really? I had to go completely at this guy before doing the next bit. Wow. So yeah, and literally you can't do the next step until you've agreed to do the quest for it. It's like the worst kind of MMO design here, not like something worthy of Chrono Trigger. I mean, yeah, but you know, I was talking about Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross doesn't really try to live up to the legacy of Chrono Trigger either. It's kind of its own thing, and it's a very, very interesting JRPG. It just has like a very small problem that its story doesn't make sense, and the game doesn't try to help you make sense of it until maybe the last 5 hours of the game. And we're talking about like a 40 to 50 hours like JRPG at best, depending on like how much of the side stuff you sort of engage in. It's also kind of all over the place, if I'm being honest. While Chrono Trigger only has like seven characters, right? It's like Chrono, Luca, Marl, Ayla, Robo, Frog, and Magus. So it's like, yeah, 8 characters if you get the optional one, Magus. Well, yeah, while Chrono Trigger has 8 characters, one of which is the protagonist, Chrono Cross has close to 40, I want to say. A lot of which you can't actually get at the same time on the same playthrough, because it does that thing where there are multiple paths, I guess, through certain of like the game's main quests. There's like an early example at like the first disc. We're gonna be playing like the PSN version, which is like all one thing, so you don't have to swap discs and stuff. But anyway, at least not physical discs. But the first early example of this is that there is a point in the game where one of the potential companions you can have gets poisoned during like one of the game's first dungeons, as far as I remember. So you have a choice. You can go get the antidote, or you can say screw it and do a totally different thing and like leave that character to die from poison. The game has different areas that you visit depending on what you chose, and each one of those areas has a different party member that can be recruited, or like at least 2 or 3 different party members that can be recruited actually. Because like you get like, I think you get Glenn if you don't try to save Kid, and you get like the other dragoon guy if you do, like the big armored muscled guy. I don't remember his name though. As the mess might have been from crossbeing a of Argan Dreamers. I don't know. It's not really. It might be part of the reason, but it's not like the... I don't think it's like the whole reason why that game is a mess. The story is very... The story is very obscured. And it's very obscured up until the very last few areas of the game. It's not that it doesn't, like, it expects you to have played something else. It's just that it doesn't even, like, take the time to acknowledge anything like that happening. Also, hold on. I got the Nova armor. I don't know why I forgot to equip that, but I don't need the Vigilance hat if I have that. So, I'm just gonna use the Haste Helm, which gives me automatic haste all the time, all the way, while Nova armor prevents all status ailments. So now I can kind of put the Vigilance hat on both Magus and Luca. Yeah, I mean, the Chrono Trigger reference only comes like 20 hours into the game, or like 25 hours into the game. And even then, it's only kind of like an Easter egg kind of thing at first. And another 10 or so hours into the game, it also kind of confirms, yes, this in fact is taking place in the same like universe as Chrono Trigger. My thanks. I fear that not survive much longer. I've been toiling away at this bridge, but the work takes a good deal of demand. Seems I grew a tad careless and lost my footing. Get moon armor? I mean, I did. Hold on. But I probably have it equipped on someone else. Moonbeam armor. There we go. There's it. No, hold on. It's the other way around. Nova armor is the upgrade of the Moonbeam armor. Isn't it? I think you're like thinking of them in the other way around. Like Moonbeam is the one that gives magic defense, and like the Nova armor gives prevents all status ailments. Also, I don't actually need that on Magus either, because he has another Nova armor. Guess I can put like the reduces light armor by half. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Nova armor is the upgraded version, and Moonbeam armor is the lesser version that you get in like 600 AD. Do you think you could help build a bridge? How many pointless back and forths? This will upgrade the contents of the chest, normally the Nova armor. Yeah, but hold on, give me a moment here. Let's compare things. Okay, fair enough. Okay, but that's like kind of like the thing. I do want the like the status protection. I prefer that better than the I prefer that better than the Moonbeam armor. Like magic resist is fine. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't need the vigilance hat if I have the Nova armor though. Like give or take 5 or like 10 defense is probably not as big of a loss as not having like status immunity. Like for example, now I can have status immunity and perma haste on Chrono. Although I guess Chrono probably isn't like the person that needs that, if I'm being honest. Yeah, but probably not on Chrono, right? That's probably something that would work better on Robo, I guess. Huh? I get Nova armor and Time Hat on Robo. So it kind of like offsets his low speed. Hey, Magus learned whatever the hell it was. Black hole. Like another 857 for black hole. Yay! Only an hour more of grinding into this hellhole. I mean, the funny thing is that if I were to go to the Black Omen now, I would be getting like the last few TPs just like that. The upgrade on magic resist on the very end. Yeah, I know. And I will certainly have to rethink my gear setup when and if I manage to reach the Time Devourer. But for now, I think like since like these enemies die fairly easy enough, and I can't seem to be able to skip them, I think haste is probably like the better option here. Also, we're actually also kind of like force leveling ourselves here. Which is kind of funny. I wasn't planning on grinding, but the game is forcing me to, so yay! It's like totally possible at level 48 or 49 or whatever level I am at the moment to go finish the game and like kill Lavos. I guess a few more levels wouldn't be that amiss if I'm planning on doing the Time Devourer though, or like the Dream Devourer, whatever his name is. I just wish I could skip this specific boss fight. It's such a handful. It's such a waste of time. I mean, you can like totally try and do like a few of the endings. So in New Game Plus, like the endings change depending on like when exactly you go fight Lavos, right? If memory serves, there's like 12 endings, and then there's like the 13th one. That's the new one they added in the DS version, like the Time Devourer or like Dream Devourer. I'm gonna call him Time Devourer. Just deal with it. Boy. At any rate, for the Time Devourer one, we do need to actually finish the game at least once, because the what are they called? Like the vortex places don't get unlocked unless you're on New Game Plus, I think. Or if you have to like finish the game once. But yeah, I remember it's like 12 endings. There's like one for beating Lavos when you first encounter it at the Ocean Palace, which is supposed to be probably the hardest place to beat him as well, because his HP is higher than what it usually is, just for that one fight. Like that particular instance of him is way harder to beat than the other versions. And I think that ending also leads you to the dev room or something like that. It's like it's like an ending where you get to talk to like the development team or something, unless I'm very much mistaken. And then there's like the ending where like Frog marries Marl's like grandmother or something like that, and everyone turns into a frog or something like that. It's like a lot of very goofy endings, depending on like where exactly in the story you chose to engage with Lavos again. Although it does also mean more or less running through the game a second time, and I don't know if I'm like prepared to do that, because I haven't really like have Saurian leather and regal gown. Yeah, Saurian leather was like that armor that everyone could equip, right? Like gives you some kind of like, I think, strength and speed, or am I misremembering? I think it's like strength and speed, right? Three strength and 3 speed, yeah. That's kind of like a decent one to give Robo as well, right? If you don't go for the Nova armor and like haste cap, or like time cap, I guess. What's it called? Haste helm in this version. I'm pretty sure it was called like time cap in the previous version. Oh, by the way, after delivering the food to the noob, I need to backtrack again and get him a banana from the marshes. Kind of like reading the stuff in like the guide that I put up, because I'll be damned if I'm like mashing my face through every single screen of this god-awful dungeon. Old monster have good food long time ago. Sweet yellow thing. I like that food. See, if the game was any decent, it would have teleported me to the entrance of the dungeon at this point, at least. And I know they're capable of doing that because they do that on other dungeons. So yeah. That's from the Vortex. Well, yeah, but you do have to run the Vortex if you want to do the Time Devourer thing. Teleported me to the next room. No, it didn't. Like I said, if the game had been decent, it would have sent me all the way back to the entrance of the dungeon. Because it does do that on other dungeons in the main game. So the engine is capable of doing that. I'm just like trying to cut off like excuses that someone might make about them not being able to program this for the DS version. Sorry, it's like my mind's kind of like racing ahead. I'm always kind of like expecting people to argue back with everything, so you know. I'm very sorry about that. So how many times have we climbed these like mountains now? It's like the 5th or the 6th. There's like 3 screens or like 4 screens worth of areas and fights and stuff for the 6th time in a row, and we have to do it one more to bring the guy back let me check my notes, a banana, a sweet banana, which kind of like makes me want to do things with that banana to the developers for designing such a lovely dungeon. Also, yeah, is my voice kind of low in comparison to the game? I can totally fix that, because I know we've had this problem on previous streams. It just seems like Chrono Trigger doesn't really want to play well with my sound levels for whatever reason. Or like, hell, you know what? Not even a teleporter in this dungeon would have been that necessary. You know what they could have done? You could have them allow you to jump at the top of the waterfall and reach the end. You know, like you do in the Nadoro Mountains. I mean, that's like literally repurposing stuff that already is possible in the game, which is what this entire area is like repurposed tile sets and assets with like a bunch of inconsequential quests attached to them. Imagine playing this dungeon where no longer have bananas, but like in 2300 AD. Imagine that. Imagine if like one entrance was like 600 AD and like the other one was like in 2300 AD. You know, that place that doesn't have any vegetation because Lavos kind of ate the whole planet, I guess. So I just realized I can probably do something else here. So one of the late... Oh, never mind. Wrong time period. One of the later quests in this place is to get the Prisma Stone on like the top of the mountain. But I guess we can't actually get that until we're done with the like the banana quest. I just don't escape, please. But yeah, literally at the point where even with a guide, this game feels like a chore. You know something's gone like awfully wrong. I'm pretty sure some of these are immune to light. Oh, yeah. Look, it's a banana. For whatever reason, a purplish, darkness-infused slime was carrying a sweet banana. Now, me personally, I wouldn't think this would be safe for consumption, but who am I to question the infinite knowledge and, like, wisdom of the designers of the Lost Sanctum? Yes, I'm bitter and salty about this dungeon. Deal with it. Nah. I mean, if anything, I just like get annoyed about like how much potential this place could have had as an optional dungeon. And literally, I can see it being a lot more pleasant to go through if it had some of the fixes that I was saying about, like, implemented to it. Like, allow you to fast travel between areas. Maybe don't have two versions of the Lost Sanctum, but, you know, have one with slightly more areas, I guess, if that was what you were going for. You know. So, let me try something here. I mean, I don't think everyone's ever gonna like advertise that as a specific like selling point. At least I'm getting a lot of mileage out of the golden stud on Chrono, right? Like, imagine not having the like the one-shot, one-kill thing that Luminaire brings to the table. Just like be forced to fight them regularly, wasting multiple turns to kill everything. Yep. Imagine that. Also, don't imagine that, because apparently this dungeon is meant to be run a lot earlier than I am. Apparently the dungeon, as far as most guides say, is tuned for around level 40 instead of 50 almost that like my entire party is, which also probably means that whoever comes in here won't immediately like have access to Luminaire or most of the final techs for that matter. And you plus save pretty much having yeah, but you can actually charm golden studs off of like one of the enemies on the Black Omen, right? It's like actually one of like the regular enemies, not like a boss or anything. It's like the little dudes that drop those. Wait, what? It will be a bit rough to say the least. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, apparently it can be done. I mean, when all's like said and done, flight clubs. Yes, that's the one. It's like the little dudes, like the little imp dudes with the like the one-eyed imp dudes that you can kind of like charm like a golden stud off of. So yeah, it's like not like that unreasonable to have on your party members. Although, I will say that there are other more valuable, I guess, accessories. Like, I don't know. It might be kind of very specific, but Frog having the hero's badge usually works quite well because you've got like a 50% more chance of getting crits in or something like that. Or like the Wrath Band, which I kind of realized before starting the stream that I forgot to pick up in Giant's thingamajig. Yeah, I didn't pick up the Wrath thing. So the Wrath Band is actually kind of like the Rage Band, except it gives 80% chance to counter hits. That's also a lot better on someone like, say, for example, Robo, who is kind of slowish otherwise, so it gives him, you know, more attacks, so to speak. Cutscene again. You bring food? Here, have a banana. Yeah, fair enough. That's fine as well. The bridge is almost finished now. You should check back from time to time and watch how things are coming along. So apparently we need to go all the way down now and get something called the Waystone. And then we need to go to Prehistory and place it at this place so it can charge up. And that will allow us to see in the dark in that one cavern room in Prehistory, which means we need to do this whole transition thing another 6 times. Yes! So yeah, I need to go to Prehistory now, get the stone. I need to go down to the base of the mountain here, get the stone, get to Prehistory, put that to charge, get back here to get it, then go back to Prehistory so that I can access the dark cavern. Yay. Apparently. So yeah, all characters max speed. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, again, I still think like some accessories might be better, depending on like the circumstance. Plus, there's also like the fact like Omega Flare, which is like the Magus, Luca, and Marl combo needs the black gemstone to be activated. Give me a moment. Oh boy. Is anyone else like tired of seeing the Emerald Mount, the Mount Emerald, sorry, in this version, the Emerald Mountain over and over and over again? Always like how they made the rainbow shield. Oh yeah, I mean. Yeah. Although I'm kind of curious which one, like, on average does a better job. Is it like Rainbow, which kind of like has more or less like guaranteed crits? Or is it like the other one that like does 4 times the crit damage but only has like a 5% crit chance or whatever? Because like that one with probably... Oh, you know what? That's right. Hold on. I just realized that Suzaku with Dragon's Tears might also be very handy. Especially if we ever meet anything that, you know, I don't need to spam Luminaire on. But yeah, I just like realized I'd much rather have the golden stud for, you know, Luminaire. Cheapo Luminaires for 5 MP. Instead of, you know, maybe trying to attack something physically and getting a crit more times. That one just a big number, the other one. Yeah, I mean, again, but I'm just like looking to kind of speed things up if I can in like this dungeon for now. Like probably for like the Time Devourer, it might be a decent strategy, I guess. As the objective, Rainbow with the Dream Seeker with like Prism specs. Yeah, that also. But I mean, for the most part, kind of the most of the, like, as far as I can see, most of the enemies here have what's it called? Are like magic, like are like weak to magic, I guess. I have the Saint Stone, don't I? Yes, I do. So now we need to go back to prehistory again and climb that mountain one more time. Yay. So yeah, that's kind of what I was like considering doing. The Apocalypse Arm, if I remember, is like we kind of like talked about this in PMs. It's like the one that does 9999 on like a crit, right? Kind of like Ayla's Bronze Fist once she gets to level like 96, I want to say, or 95. I don't remember, but Ayla's like punch attack gets upgraded with like your levels. 99. I thought it was like earlier than 99 because you didn't really need like exactly max level to get Bronze Fist. Oh, 96. Okay, I thought it was like 95 or something like that. Nice for new form of spec here. Yeah, I know. That one I've never actually like grinded enough to kind of like try and fight, to be honest. It's kind of a shame because you get like 10 of each tab or something like that, of a capsule. Sorry. So like you like get like a bunch of different capsules if you can grind to 99 and then go fight him. And he's apparently the most difficult boss in like the base game, right? I mean, speed, duh. Right? You just like need those like sweet speed capsules if you're at 99. To get everyone to 16 speed, I think, which is like the max, right? Wait. Oh, Chrono got a level. Yay. Hooray. Unless I never go into class. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. But you know, I will most likely be rushing through New Game Plus just to get the endings. So I won't really be getting that many speed capsules on that playthrough. Like, there aren't like that many if you're just doing like the main stuff and aren't like exploring or like sidetracking. Yeah, but I won't be getting 99 for new. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I don't know. Is it like a place where you can go grind XP for? In like regular NG? I guess like the Black Omen is the area with the most like XP yields, right? I assume at least that it is. Please. No. Oh. Ah, why? Like, there's that place on Mount Woe, like, just before you fight that thing that's protecting the Prophet. Not the Prophet, Melchior, I guess. Yeah, but I mean, I mean, like, the base game, not the DS version. Hey, Mammoth, welcome. How's it going? How are we doing today? Did you weren't streaming, were you? Right? Because I'm pretty sure if you were, I kind of missed that. Nah, not tonight. Okay, fair enough. Tomorrow again. So what are we doing tomorrow? Is like more Mafia 3, I guess. More more hunting for articles in certain magazines. Did pretty much all of the grind stuff off stream. Yeah, that sounds like a good choice. That sounds like something maybe I should have done with this dungeon. If I'm being honest. But I guess people do enjoy hearing me complain about stuff. As, again, Witcher 1 kind of illustrated very, very succinctly. Vargas paintings? Wait, Vargas paintings? Why does that not sound familiar to me at all? Vargas. They're only in M3. Yes, I haven't actually played any of the Mafia games, by the way. my dirty little secret. They're basically loot. Ooh, oh my. 2 stones powered up in that time. It's not like even 2 stones, it's just like 1 stone, more or less, right? But yeah, I haven't ever played Mafia. I don't know. I don't really enjoy that particular category of... oh, the Sunstone of the regular game. Yeah, fair enough. That one too. The previous just a close-up of the head. How very Twitch-friendly of them. How very thoughtful. It's like at moments like these that I kind of like am reminded of that like ironic little won't anyone think of the kids kind of thing. Oh boy, and I have to fight this dude again. Clutches pearls. No, like tears off the clothes. Won't anyone think of the kids? In like a very intense voice. But yeah. So how is the heat going? It's like a general question, because around here it's actually very cool tonight. We kind of like ended up going out for coffee with those like out of town friends, I guess. Well, no, actually without those out-of-town friends because, well, miscommunications happened. But yeah, we did end up going out for coffee, and oddly enough, I could just about like manage to actually like wear like my jeans today without like having to like wear shorts or anything, and I didn't kind of like melt in the heat. Here it's warm. Wait, 15 to 17 is warm for you? Excuse me? May I for October just inform you that we are currently at 22 at around 11 p.m. and that's considered cool-ish for me. But yeah, again, it's kind of like depends on the place. I know you're like way further up north than I am, so it's actually something that I said to Rooks the other day. I before meeting like the missus, I briefly considered kind of moving to like the northern countries, just like trying to pick up maybe Norwegian or like Swedish or something like that, and moving on to like Storkin Raiken. I mean, not really. I mean, he just happens to live in a country that is cool by default, which would be perfect for me, since I get very, very uncomfortable and sweaty in the 40+ degree summers that we get here. Oh, come on. Oh my god, these freaking rats. Anything above 27 should be legal. Yes, I totally agree there. But until someone figures out how to sue the weather and arrest it, unfortunately we are stuck with like the 40+. I think like the peak was like 43 this year in like in inlands, the middle of the island where the capital is. Oh, they're going to sue the sun. Ooh, look, I learned Flare. Just like literally only got Magus to go, I think. Yep. Which kind of makes sense. Magus becomes available way later in the game than everyone else. And is optional. But yeah, I don't know how you can sue the sun. I guess like shoot rockets at it. I don't know. How can you sue anything? Like send some lawyers up there. Ho ho ho. Oh my god. It's like legitimately getting a headache from all the up and down I have to do on Mount Emerald. Yeah, boy. So I'm kind of curious though. I'm probably able to find the Masamune version of Spec after I'm done with this. I mean, that one is already active since level 40, right? I mean, at around 50-ish, I think I'm probably like leveled enough to not die to that attack that he does at the start. Also, here's something that I learned today while looking into like all the endings, so that I wouldn't like waste time in you know, here as I am now. Apparently the Time Devourer has 32,000 HP, and that is significant because the maximum number an integer can take in this game is 32,600 and wait, what's it like the maximum? 32,652, I guess. But no, that's not the actual thing. The thing that I'm talking about is that it is entirely possible in his second phase, where he absorbs magic attacks, to heal him over 32,650 something HP. So it overflows into the negatives and he dies. And I'm actually very eager to try that. Because I'm like a very I'm like a sucker for like programming related shenanigans like this. And apparently no one in like the dev team that brought us this wonderful Lost Sanctum place thought to put a limiter so that it can't overflow when it tries to go above 32,650 something. I really want to try that, like healing enemies to death because of like an integer problem not being taken into account by the dev team is infinitely amusing to me. So yeah, basically for those that are not like that like programming inclined, the like I don't know if it's like the best explanation, but like a good like kind of like silly example of this is like, imagine having like a number that can only go up to like a certain amount, and you try to add more to that. The way it works is it can't like realistically count any further upwards. So what it does, it considers that it kind of like goes into like the negatives. It kind of like flips around the opposite theoretical minimum. So that's what they call an overflow, when a value goes way above what is like allowed by the programming of like that specific value. And yeah, you can actually heal it to death unintentionally. It's find it weird that people complain some boss was easy for having a cheap weak point when you tell them they can avoid using that. Oh, I mean, yeah. I see you've played, and sorry, I see you've played Dark Souls and have interacted with the fan base of that. Like, sure, you that this game sucks. You can kind of like snipe Manus from like above the fog wall, and everyone's like, well, then don't use that. No, I didn't say that. Screw you. I'm gonna snipe, but I'm gonna bitch about it. So yeah, in Dark Souls 1, the DLC, it is entirely possible to cheese, as they say, the final boss of the DLC, which is like more or less, maybe not like the most difficult boss on NG, but maybe on NG Plus it's nearly impossible to, not nearly impossible, it's like very, very hard to kind of kill it legitimately. So that last boss is kind of on like a very limited platform, I guess. It's very hard to deal with. It's got a lot of health. I think it's actually got like the highest health of any enemy in the game. Yeah. Agree to explore the cave. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, and Manus is like the boss of the DLC, the Astorias of the Abyss DLC that for the PC version kind of comes bundled in. However, because the arena that he's on is designed in like a kind of like peculiar way where you kind of need to drop down right after going into the fog wall that protects it, there is a small space up there where you can avoid falling down and more or less having a decent enough bow and enough arrows can kind of chip away at his health until he's like near dead. I don't think you can actually fully kill him from just like sniping him from up there, because you need to like deliver the final hit while the fight is like engaged. But yeah, you can totally do that, and it like if people's reactions or anything to go by, it's supposed to be like this awfully like horrible thing that you can do to the game because you're not actually playing it properly or like enjoying it the right way. And well, I've always like thought like, no, fuck you. I'm having fun. Why am I kind of like ruining your game by having fun? Don't know if I played Riviera. I have never finished it though. I actually have it on the Vita, and it's like I'm like halfway through it. It's like one of those games that I need to go back to, because I know, but I it's like kind of like annoying to find them all. Like, I know there's like that chest down there that I have no idea how to get to. Like through here, or like through here. I don't know. There's like once more mashing your face against everything, and then also fighting the freaking bats as well. But yeah, I have played Riviera. I have played like both versions of Riviera. The Game Boy Advance version at some point when I was in the army, and then the PSP version when I was in college. And I've also got it like on the Vita, and it's kind of like halfway through completion. But I had to stop because... Why did I have to stop? I think it was like at the time I was playing that, it was kind of like at the time where we went to Prague for Christmas, and I ended up getting like the Switch. So anything that I was playing on Vita kind of like went away for a small while. Also, yeah, it was like the second passage. Only finished it one got Fia's ending. Yeah. So, for those that don't know, Riviera is another quite decent JRPG. It's kind of unique as well in that how it works is you don't generally get levels with your characters. Instead, you get items that have, for the most part, limited uses. And how that works is that each character has certain affinities. For example, Ayn, the protagonist, has an S rank affinity for swords because he's like most proficient at using swords, and he then has like an A affinity for rapiers and B for bows and so on and so forth. And anyway, those items are limited use, but the more times a character uses them, the more he masters them. Like he kind of like each character can gain XP of a sort on like all these items, and you can more or less kind of get stat increases by mastering each item. So there's like you might get like 3 different kinds of swords, and each one you master gains you like 10 max HP and like +1 strength. It's not like exactly like that, but I mean you kind of like get the how it works. You get items that have limited uses and can break if you use them too many times, and you have to use those to give stat increases to your characters in the party by using them over and over. Oh, that was like an oddly specific secret door. Wow. Reptile Tiara. Magic +5, but only 35 defense. But yeah, the other thing that that game does is that it's not actually just a JRPG. It's kind of a hybrid between a JRPG and a visual novel. Yeah, status immunity is the other thing. So I kind of like want to say that here, like the next boss that I'm gonna fight is a blah 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 blah. The Archaeofung Boss. Okay. The Primeval Fortress, sorry. But yeah, it's kind of like a... Yes, and like you can actually do training battles at any point in the game which don't use up your item charges and also give you items. So it's not like as punishing a system as it sounds. But yeah, the idea is that you need to master as many weapons as possible with each character so that you get like stat increases and stat increases more or less. Oh wow. But it's also half a visual novel in that very uniquely you do not actually have full freedom to explore the game world, but rather you go from like screen to screen, and in each screen there are like some events that you can do, and it also has like a limitation on how many moves you can take in those systems. Oh god. So see, now it does teleport me back to the village. Why can't it do that like every single step of all of these stupid quests? Would they inflict pay if they helped you? Wait, what? Wait. Did I miss something? Was there like some like dialogue that I didn't read all the way through? No, I mean they can they teleport me back to the village. Why couldn't they do that every single time that one of these quests ends? So I don't have to go through the dungeon like 50 different times. So now I have to go back? Oh my god. I have to go back. Why? I mean, I'm sure they played games, but then they just said, fuck that, we don't care about games. We're just gonna do our own thing. And the name of the game is Padding Out. Which is why I've spent the better part of the last 2 hours talking about other games while I'm doing all of this. But yeah, Riviera also quite highly recommended by me. I would like seriously urge people to play that game. It's like quite an interesting JRPG, like design wise, because it kind of tries to, well, borrow things from I guess visual novels, but not exactly visual novels though. I guess like the thing it kind of like borrows most from is like board games, now that I think about it, because you've got like limited moves and you kind of have to decide on where to spend them. I mean, it does have like affection ratings for each of your party members, so maybe that kind of like counts as a visual novel. But it's like such a it does have a few like board game elements to it, doesn't it? Now that I think about it. Oh, it's actually quite a revelation, to be honest. Huh. Whew. Okay. Can I please skip these? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like what I meant by visual novel, but then again, you've got all those things with like the TP that you kind of have to use, remember? Because each area that you need to explore kind of gives you some TP, which are like kind of like, or like, I don't remember what they're called exactly. They're kind of like movement points, I guess. And it's like a very small number, at first at least. And each time you go to like a new area, in order to examine stuff in that area, you need to use up those TP. And not all the stuff that you can examine actually matters or even gives you any reward. Which is why I'm saying kind of like it's got like some board game elements to it, because it's got like a finite resource that allows you to explore. You need to kind of like weigh the pros and cons of that mode. So yeah, this is like more or less why I'm like saying that. Trigger points, thank you. I was like agonizing to remember what the T in TP stood for. No, yeah, I mean, it's not like quite like wasting the trigger points, because like some of them have like legitimately decent rewards, right? It's just that the actions that are mandatory to proceed through the dungeon, those do not cost points. It's just like the optional stuff that does cost points, because I guess they kind of wanted to make sure that you wouldn't get locked out at like any point in the game. Wait, what? Oh, come on. Yep, exactly. And oh yeah, it also does the other thing where sometimes you'll find an item but you need to pass a minigame to be able to loot it. And like if you fail the minigame, you more or less get either damaged or lose time, or, you know, otherwise get penalized quite severely. I mean, the stone skipping one isn't that bad. There's like in like the later parts of the game, the trap chests are kind of annoying in that regard. Especially when the quick time events that you feather, really. Horn, Fang. So what's in the middle? Turbo shot. Oh wow, speed +3, but kind of missing out on like a lot of damage. But yeah, as I was, oh my god, kind of saying. God damn it! I was just like saying that now. But yeah, like the traps in like the later dungeons are a lot less forgiving, and like the little like mini games that you need to play to disarm them, I guess, are like a lot less forgiving as like the game goes on. That's like a very interesting like example of like gameplay as far as JRPGs go. I would like totally recommend, if someone either has access to a PS3 or a PS Vita or a PSP, you can totally get it on PSN for like maybe $10, and it's like well worth the cost. Wait, is this like the same place? Yes, it is. Yep, I know. I remember that one. Can we please not do that? Of course not. Dragon armor. Okay. Strength +10. Kind of like lose out immunity on everything, so I guess you can go back to Vigilance Hat, maybe. Because you can't actually equip the Nova armor on Luca. Calls into the game itself the world's most difficult trick. Really? Does it? Huh. I mean, if the game calls it that, it must be true, right? Wait, seriously? Where the hell am I? What the hell is this dungeon even? Ah. Stardust bow. Okay. Huh. Main flick. Confuse. I mean, stop is probably better than confuse. Although I kind of assume that like stop has a lower chance of activating than what's it called? Confuse. Actually, you know, I think I'd rather have Frog in the party rather than Luca. Because he can heal. Where she cannot. Okay, Nova Armor. Prevents all status ailments. Aha. And the Haste Cap as well. The Masamune. And Prism Spectacles. I guess. Yeah, I don't have another one though. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. GG. There's like actually nothing in this except like fights, I guess. Huh. Cute. Oh, come on. No. Oh. Oh wait, there's like a door here. Okay. Kind of curious to see what's up there though. Oh. 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 Don't. Come on. No. No, no, no. I guess. Just like clear away the little butts and then just like beat the shit out of the red dinosaur thingies. Nah. Stop. Stop that. Are they like countering or something? I don't know. Is that supposed to be like a counter attack or not? Reptile dress. Let's see. Defense 82, magic plus 10. I mean, that sounds kind of shitty for Ayla, but okay, I'm pretty sure that yeah, it's fine for Luca, even though we do kind of like miss out on some speed. Oh, hello. Like in a normal dungeon, finding a save point after all of those fights, I would say, yeah, maybe we're close to a boss now. 60% increase for Ayla. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's a 60%. Sorry, it's a 60% increase on nothing because she can't use magic. So it's you who meddle in our plans, huh? Are those chairs my? Oh, never mind. Huh. Okay, I guess one is immune to like fire and the other one's immune to light. I'll just like do this. Oh, cool, and they also steal HP, MP. Such a nice attack. Wait, what? Wait, with every attack? Oh, come on. Dude. Yeah, with every attack. Or counter anything, yeah. So apparently any attack that I do sucks like 10 MP out of each character, like 20, because both of them do it. That's like such bullshit though. What the hell? It's probably when tribal text would work well, but I don't know. Would they? It's always it helps some enemies that counter game, but this one kind of like drains mana, right? So, or like MP even. So, I think I just like end up not having mana to do tribal text anymore. Also, wow. Okay. I'm kind of curious if like they have like a dual tech, because like clearly one of them is like a fire element and the other one's like a water element, I guess. Although he's not actually using water like attacks. Hey, they're both dead. Screw these. I don't get TP again. What the hell is up with this game? Let's be on our way. So yeah, now I get teleported back. What the freak? This is the Valor Crest, an ancient treasure of our village. Please accept it as a token of our gratitude. You are our savior. What the hell is the Valor Crest though? I don't think I've ever like gotten it. Boost critical hit rate, 50% counter rate. Oof. Okay. Fun. So this kind of looks like it's the last quest now. We'll have to go to 600 AD, and that's about, it's like the final part of the dungeon. About to cry here. I haven't gotten like Robo's final arm though. What the hell is up with that? Just like check. No, sorry, the Apocalypse arm. Oh, no, never mind. That's like in the vortex. Never mind, never mind. I got like my optional content mixed up. So yeah, Fair enough. Sorry about that. So at this point, we've spent like an hour and a half this morning, and another maybe almost 3 hours now. So 4.5 hours doing the Lost Sanctum part of the game. It's like maybe like an hour's worth of content without all the back and forth. So yeah, GG. In the meantime, I also think we got like 6 or something levels. Ain't that fun? And are like more or less all caught up with old techs, except like Magus at some point required like 900 points. It lacks the monster. Yeah, but that monster catcher part, like the Arena of Ages, that one I thought kind of like required Street Pass to work properly, right? Yeah, but I mean, my insistence on doing it aside, this is very much a very like optional part of the game. And I have to argue that like the best thing to come out of this like addition is the Dragon's Tier, and if we're being honest, that part you can get just by visiting the lost the Lost Sanctum. Yeah, I know. I mean, again, I'm not. This like what I'm like saying is, I'm not saying this is like a good part of the game. I also wish it wasn't in the game. Forgot how annoying this part of Chrono Trigger is. Yes. So, Haribogami, you haven't been here for like this morning stream. So it was like a national holiday here. So I had a few hours in the morning where I could stream as well. So we did all of the other side quests at that time. So as a total tally of how many hours I've spent in this dungeon, it's like maybe an hour and a half during this morning, and we are currently at maybe a bit more than 2.5 hours now. So it's like 4 hours of just like going up and down Mount Emerald all the time. And look, I mean, it's not well designed, yes, but I can kind of see how they kind of like arrived at like doing it like this, because to me, design-wise, it kind of feels like they've only done it because they needed something that was around 4 to 5 hours to add to the game, and they either didn't have access to the original assets, or they couldn't get like the artist to kind of like work and make more. So they had to reuse all of the old assets, all of the old tie sets, and just like recolored enemies, I guess. And they had to make that last. So I guess that's like what purpose the back and forth kind of serves. Yes, the definition of insanity, that's like totally, like, I'm not arguing that at all, but I can sort of see why they did that. It's not a good reason on why they did that, but I can kind of see why it's built like this. So I love this budding romance between like the new and the Reptide. Also got the Saurian leathers. Like the only other thing we've got left to get is something called the Championship Badge. Do we? I mean, might as well just like go get that, right? When I mentioned about the arena, yeah, but I was kind of under the impression that it required like Street Pass, which you've never like owned a DS, right? So you wouldn't know, or like a 3DS, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm like assuming here, but how Street Pass worked is that you can basically turn on something like a wireless access point technology, kind of like Bluetooth. So even when you're like DS, like this is like a 3DS, but even like when your like DS is kind of like clamped, it can still transmit data from certain games to other nearby DSs, and you kind of like get send and receive certain like info on those games. So I don't exactly remember how it worked on Chrono Trigger, to be honest. But for example, in like the some of your chat messages aren't appearing. Oh, okay. Fair enough. No, I did see I have a DS one. What were I mentioning about the arena? I can see both of those. Skip 2 so far? Really? I mean, I don't know. Are they not showing on the plugin as well? Like the above the webcam? Okay. I mean, Twitch has kind of been acting up lately. Chat specifically, but you know. Oh. Okay, fair enough. I'm sorry about that then. But I think Twitch might be having issues since like I don't know, like mid September, I want to say. But yeah, anyway, so how Street Pass works is that you can activate wireless communications even if your DS is in sleep mode, and depending on like which game you enable it for, it sends and receives data from other nearby DS or 3DS users. So I remember like a good example in Bravely Default, that's on the 3DS, where you can actually send like there's like a small village that you kind of like manage in that game as kind of like a side quest, and you can totally kind of like send specific monsters between your 3DS and like whoever else's 3DS you want to send them to, and they unlock specific boss fights, like optional boss fights that you can do, and that kind of like works even if your 3DS is yes, The World Ends With You had something like that, but it didn't, or Get Like Heroes for Finishers, exactly that as well, but yes, the World Ends With You one wasn't particularly well implemented because it kind of picked up any wireless signal as being a nearby DS. And sometimes if it couldn't pick signals, it would fake giving you signals so you could get the XP for that. Because, so this is kind of like a brief aside into yet another game that is not Chrono Trigger. But The World Ends With You has a system where you equip pins. And like actual like lapel pins and so on and so forth. And each pin lets you activate specific attacks. And to power up those pins, you gain XP with them. But The World Ends With You has 3 different kinds of XP. It's combat XP, which is the XP that you get by fighting. There's AFK XP or like rest XP or whatever it's called, which is the XP you gain whenever the game is turned off, or rather in sleep mode. And the other is, I think it was called something like TPP or something like that. It's like the transmission XP or something like that, which is what you would get if you turn on Street Pass and let the DS kind of like broadcast data. Yes, when you got like a legit other like DS owner nearby, you got more XP. And as far as I remember, you were also capped to like 10 encounters per like day or something like that. I don't actually remember. Oh boy. Cool. But yeah, and it had like this whole like very in-depth system where those pins, if they got to specific levels, they would evolve so long as the predominant type of XP you got on that pin was of a specific type. So depending on like the pin's like affinity, I guess. So yeah, you also had like a max from turning it off, which was like 7 days worth of XP. And it kind of like dropped off. Like on the first day it gave you like 144. On the second day it gave you like 120, and then it went all the way to the 7th day where you would only get like 10 XP. But yeah, anyway, each pin had a very specific type of XP that it needed in order to evolve. So, for example, the Masamune pin, which got upgraded to Muramasa, required that you gain the majority of its levels while earning combat XP. While the Rook's pin, which Lightning Rook, not Rooks, Lightning Rook pin, sorry. But the Lightning Rook pin, which kind of like created lightning when you scratched at specific surfaces, required AFK XP to evolve to its advanced version, whose name I don't really remember, to be honest. But yeah, so it was like this whole thing about like kind of like managing which pins you have equipped to gain the specific type of XP that you needed to upgrade them or like evolve them into like the next new pin. So if you didn't really like gain the correct type of XP, like a certain percentage over the overall, it would just like hit max level and stay there, even though it could have evolved if you had earned the correct type of XP. And one of the XP types was the TPP that I said. And this is just like for the benefit of anyone that hasn't played the game, which I'm not sure if like we've got like many people that haven't played that in chat. I know Millimage has, I'm pretty sure Rooks has, and I'm also kind of suspecting that JLC also played The World Ends With You. But yeah, for the benefit of anyone who hasn't played it, one of the XP types that you can gain are the transmission, let's call them XP, which is the type that you gain from enabling the Street Pass mode. Game was a lie. Yeah, but you know, The World Ends With You, it's like just like the initial title. By the end of it, they kind of change it to something more optimistic, right? Was done with most things. Actually, on the... Give me just a moment to find it. Yep. Where are my DS games? I'm pretty sure I had like... Give me a moment. There we go. So since I was kind of like collecting my games in like a digital format, this is kind of like all of my physical copies. Let's see. So yeah, The World Ends With You. On the DS version of it, I have around 450 hours trying to max most, if not all, of the pins. Yeah, I kind of went a bit overboard on that. Although I will say that like at least like 50 of those hours are kind of like AFK for farming TPP. So I don't know how much that counts. But yeah, in that one I've actually done all of the like what's it called, like the daily reports. So again, for those that haven't played the game, the game is kind of like split into 3 weeks of 7 chapters, or rather 7 days each, plus like another like epilogue chapter, I guess. So once you are done with the game, you get the option to enter a kind of New Game Plus mode, but not quite New Game Plus mode. It's sort of like that. And what happens there is that you have like a level select, which is like all of the days in all 3 weeks, and for each day you have specific objectives. It's either to just like play specific in-game events in like a certain order, so you get some secret kind of item, or defeat specific boss enemies at hard difficulty or higher. Yeah, it's sort of like a clear up level select mode, but the other thing it has is something called secret reports, which you can only get by completing all of the optional objectives in a day fully. The secret reports are kind of like I don't know how to put it. It's like kind of like a post-game explanation mode, I guess. Doesn't kind of like I can't hear my voice. These are supposed to be like noise cancelling, and they are. And I'm having trouble having both of them plugged in and speaking at the same time because I can't hear my voice. So I can't really like regulate the volume of it. Oh boy. But yeah, the secret reports kind of have like optional, I guess, background story relating to some of the more, obscure characters overall. And it's kind of like written in a way that you can kind of like see it as a, I don't know what to call it. It's like one of the characters reporting to their superiors, I guess, which is why they're called secret reports. And yeah, on the DS version, I actually have all of those, and all pig noises cleared, and like the optional Pig City dungeon cleared, and even just like most of the pins maxed out and evolved. So yeah, I spent a fair bit of time on that. The closed DS. Yes, those were so good, and I hate that the Switch version doesn't have that. I hate that so much. So yeah, I also got it on the Switch recently because it was on sale, and I kind of like wanted to replay that game. Unfortunately, I would not recommend the Switch version at all. If you can avoid the Switch version, it's very, very bad. The game itself is fine, but the controls are so god-awful, so annoying, so imprecise that they were like Square, they ported the game from DS to Switch. Well, they ported the game from DS to iOS and Android, and then took that version and kind of like stretched it out to Switch. The only way you can play it while docked is by using the Joy-Cons, which means it's kind of like a Wii version where you kind of aim at the screen, but the aim recognition is so iffy and so bad that they literally added a button to recenter the cursor, and it's the B button. Like probably the easiest button to press on the nunchuck, or like the Joy-Con in this case, because it's located right down here next to the stick, so you can kind of, you know, press it immediately and then go back to moving the cursor. Seriously, like the aiming of the Joy-Cons is shitty at best. Like there's like other very mean things I could be saying about that. Did I? No, I didn't use a shelter. Why didn't I use a shelter here? That was bad. But also because there's no like dual screens, you don't get like those unique things that the DS version had. Like for example, there's like one enemy, like the pig noise that Rooks is talking about, where you... Hello, recolored Cyrus. Wait, he does Luminaire? Oh, wow. Huh. Nice, I guess. But yeah, like the... sorry, I was kind of like trying to read Rook's thingy. But yeah, in like the DS version, you could very easily have more unique encounters because, you know, it's like a DS. It's got like a clamshell kind of design, I guess. There is like one enemy which, when you kind of like trigger the fight, the enemy is immune to all attacks until you do this. So yeah, literally putting the DS in sleep mode by closing the clamshell kills the enemy. And there's actually like an in-game hint that tells you how to beat that. It squashes the pig noise exactly. Kind of. It's like so funny. Like there is an actual way to like they kind of translated it into putting the game in sleep mode on the Switch version, which kind of means just like going back to the home screen. It's just not the same uniqueness, I guess. Which is also like, it's also kind of obvious in like most other it's like most obvious in like all other like DS ports. Also, wow, I just lost a bunch of health with Frog for whatever reason. Uh-oh. Yep, I'm just like dead with whoops. I wonder if he's gonna counter attack again. Yep. But it's like actually like, oh no. It's actually like the case with a lot of the DS ports, because in my mind, kind of like quite infamously, I guess. What's it called? 999 kind of lost its very unique final puzzle by Can I do X-Strike maybe? Let's see if that does more damage. Nope, it doesn't. Frenzy is probably better by the looks of it. Hmm. Oh, why did I do Water 2? Damn it, I meant to do Cure. Oh boy. Can he die already? But yeah, not wishing to spoil anything about 999, but the final puzzle in the original version, had you tried to solve a kind of like you tried to solve a puzzle by entering the answer on the bottom screen, which is a touch screen, and you have to do it by figuring out the clue that you can see on the top screen, which is mirrored upside down. There's like an actual like in-game reason for that, which again is kind of like a spoiler. Go play the game. It's like a very interesting game. Unfortunately, the PC version quite rightly did away with it because, you know, you can't actually have that in like a single screen system. But they also could have like maybe, you know, replaced it with something better than just like a Sudoku puzzle. But yeah, it's like kind of like a problem with most DS ports, to be honest. You're kind of like porting from a system that, I mean, like the main gimmick, it's like having two screens. And you can like quite accurately represent that in like a single screen system or like a single monitor system and so on and so forth. Although I guess there are games that kind of manage that. What's it called? Like Azure Striker Gunvolt on like the 3DS kind of managed to get like a single screen system port. I mean, as far as I hear, it doesn't like work well all the time, but they did manage to have like both screens worth of content into a single screen. Because in that game, you kind of like watch the action on the top screen. It's kind of like a Mega Man-esque platformer, I guess. Azure Striker Gunvolt is made by Inti Creates, who are also responsible for all the Mega Man Zero games, among other things. And more recently, Mighty Number 9, which is kind of shit. Is how you got to Gunvolt. Is my microphone not like transmitting correctly? Or were you just like AFK or something? Because I'm kind of like worried about that, to be honest. Oh, wasn't paying attention. I mean, I was talking about like how like you can't really like port stuff from the DS and 3DS to a single screen system like the PC or the PS4. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just like asking because, you know, I've had trouble with like the volumes here. That spirit will stir no more. Let's find the idols. Okay. In here? Wait a minute. That's us? What? Trust to a primitive people to engage in such foolishness. We must have become the stuff of legend to these people. I feel honored. Do you know? That's like the worst. The worst reveal ever. So I think they could preferably keep the Final Fantasy. Yeah, I mean, maybe, but, you know... it does lose a bit of the effect. And like I said, they should have done something better than just like a freaking Sudoku puzzle. But yeah, like again, there are ways to do the whole like transition from 2D 2DS like dual screen. Ooh, enhances Masamune, halves MP costs. Wait, what? Oh, okay, actually that's like quite decent for Frog. Where was it? Champions badge. Where was it? That's like basically an upgraded heroes badge then. I mean, that's fine. And we're done! We're done with this hellhole of a dungeon. However... it's already midnight and I have to call the stream for today. So, I guess no Lavos and no ending tonight. I mean, unless I kind of like crash it into him, would that kind of like work? But then you kind of don't get the epoch at the ending. I don't want to do that. I kind of like want to go through Black Omen. I guess we can try fighting Specchio here. If this is the case. But yeah, Azure Striker Gunvolt is kind of like a good, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of like a good example of how they transitioned from 2 screens to 1 screen. It's me to crash into Lavos at least once. But I don't want to. Not yet, at least. Fatalis easy. That's not what I heard. Hi, Tuma. How's it going? How are we doing today? Apparently, the Fatalis is kind of like a pain in the ass to deal with, as far as I've heard. Because the main ending has the better 2 variations. I mean, yeah. So I guess someone killed Fatalis then? I love how Magus is like basically shrugging off every little bit of damage that comes his way. Oh, joy. How much life does this guy have? I don't remember how much like life. I think like 10,000 or something that this version has. So he should be dying like within the next couple of attacks, I guess. No, it's like 30,000. No, it's not 30,000. Because like 32,000 is what Time Devourer has. And like the next version of this... Oh, instant kill? Yep. Gotta love the instant kills. Well done. I was wondering if he was actually going to use that. Oh, and then this one again. Cool. It's like the most like high damage attack that he can do. Except the instant kill one. Oh, and out of dark matter. Yay. Yes. Guess I can just like do dark mist or whatever. There we go. Yay. Oh me, oh my, that was embarrassing. You get like the deluxe, no, gratuity set. 1 magic capsule, 1 speed capsule, 1 strength capsule, and 10 elixirs. Aha! So like the next form is only at level 99, right? It's like 10 of each capsule or something like that. It's kind of funny, actually. So, okay, we've also nearly gone to like 1,000,000 gold. Like, close enough. Without really trying either. Nearly maxed out HP with Chrono, and Magus and probably Frog isn't that far behind. I mean, Robo is actually at 999, right? I don't remember having any, like, the health accessory on him. Or did I? No, sunglasses. So it's, like, totally not that one. But yeah, I'd much rather not, like, spend another hour getting through the Black Omen and, like, the final boss fight. So I think I'm gonna leave that for tomorrow and also try to get like another couple of endings in as well. In the meantime, let me see who's online so that we can kind of like send some love their way. Did I what the Dragon's Tear? Wait, no, Dragon's Tear is like the very first like thing you get. It's like when you kill the monsters in the forest the very first time, that's like the reward is the Dragon's Tear. And no, there's like no other parts to the Lost Sanctum. Once you do the 2 dungeons at the end, that's it. As like the like the red and blue like devil dudes in like the prehistory one, and the Cyrus lookalike in the 600 AD one. That's like the final 2 quests, because I mean, yeah, you kind of like need to have done everything else just to get to Cyrus and the other guy. Because the other guys, actually. Because to get to the prehistory place with like the red and blue dudes, you kind of need to have done the crystal dungeon, like the crystal side quest, so you can kind of like light up that dungeon. And to do Cyrus, you need to have finished the bridge, which is kind of like the other major side quest, I guess. So yeah, killing Cyrus and well, those 2 is it, I think. But yeah. So, who do we have that is live that we could be raiding? Is there like anyone? I mean, I could totally just like raid Sly TQ again. Like JLC kind of recommended it last time, and I mean, we do have a few people in chat, so it doesn't seem like I'm kind of like raiding people that are like way above my tier of streaming. Yes, I worry about the weirdest things. Don't mind me. I don't like raiding people with like 2 or 3 people and they have like 15 chat, because that's very, I don't know, it feels kind of like, I don't know, I worry that I might come across as like needy or something, or like, please raid me too. Even though that's never gonna happen. But yeah, she's actually doing Animal Crossing again. And I think Haunting and Hunting. Oh, this is actually something that I do want to watch. So yes, let's say it's Slighty Q. She's, I think, doing the new Halloween event. Or like the Halloween crafts that lead to that event. which is something I've actually like started doing today as well. So I'm kind of interested to see someone that's like more advanced, like more progressed in the game than me actually does. So yeah, let's do that. Let's rate Slighty Q. In the meantime, I'm gonna be online tomorrow with one or more endings to this game. Yay. At around the same time that I started today. And then hopefully from like next week onward, we can start doing some Spelunky too. Fingers crossed. But yeah, have a very pleasant evening, everyone. Thanks to what was it? Kind of like forget how to pronounce that. Thanks to Haribogami for the subscription. Thanks to everyone for sticking around, and to Rooks for like reminding me of a few things that I would probably have had to look up a guide for if not for him. So yeah, good night everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.